Fear is a fantasy. Regret is a responsibility. You can either face your fear or live your regret.
Hello everyone, this is Derek L. Mitchell, and welcome to the Fearless Factory. Now, a few months ago, I made an episode called The Core of Fear. And in that episode, I challenged and urged all of you to go beneath the surface of your fear and get to the core, the root cause of what was fueling the fear, doubt, and frustration in your life. And I went through the 4 levels of fear that I identified in my journey of overcoming and confronting fear. And recently I saw something that inspired me to go a little bit deeper into this topic. So today I'm talking about the shadow of fear. Now, what does that mean? Oftentimes, actually, I believe most of the time, when we deal with fear, doubt, frustrations, hopelessness, loneliness, in any type of challenge or difficulty in our lives, I believe that we are accustomed to, and as a default, we deal with it on a surface level and deal with the symptom of the problem and not with the root cause. There are so many things that can trigger negative emotions and feelings in tough times. And what we do is we focus on what was triggered instead of what the trigger is. And we can identify what the trigger is for our fear and other types of negativity in our lives. Then we can deal with it one time and not have this recurring issue to come back again and again. How many of you deal with the same set of problems and issues over and over again, and you just can't seem to overcome it and break it once and for all? Well, I believe that this is the reason. So I want to encourage you to look into the shadows of our consciousness and look into the undercurrent of our awareness to be able to identify and deal with what fuels our surface fear, struggles, and issues. Now, on my personal journey from fearful to fearless, what I realized is that what I had blamed, the fear that I thought was the cause of all of my issues, was just a symptom of what was going on underneath the surface and in the shadows. I always thought that my stutter was to blame for everything in my life, and it held me back from all that I wanted and all that I wanted to be. But what I realized is that that's not true. If you are willing and have the courage to go into the shadows of what you're feeling on the surface, the fear that you think is the problem, what you will find is that there is a deeper emotion that is in the shadows of the fear that you fight with on a surface level. Our fear is tied to a core emotion that we either don't realize or are too afraid to acknowledge. And not only that, on the other side is a reflection of our values. So your fear at the surface level is triggered by a deeper emotion. And that emotion is triggered by a potential threat to or a violation of your values. And that holds up a mirror in front of you and shows you what you value, and as a result, what you are afraid to have the end in your life. And in my case, on the surface level, I was afraid of my stutter. It was the reason why I couldn't talk in front of people, why I was afraid to make a phone call, to place an order at McDonald's, or just to say hello to someone in passing. But it wasn't the stutter. It was the deeper emotion of inadequacy. I felt inadequate, and my stutter was just a symptom of that. So therefore, if my stutter was wiped away, something else would take its place and would be triggered by the deeper level of emotion of inadequacy that I was feeling. And not just being inadequate for other people, but for myself and my own standards. And the reason why I was feeling this deeper emotion is because I value status and prestige. And when my inadequacy was threatened to be exposed, then that would affect what I value. And therefore, getting to that deeper level of emotion and understanding how that was triggered by a threat to my values, I was able to get to the core of what was fueling and driving that surface level of fear of having a stutter, and be able to deal with it at its core, and therefore to prevent anything else in my life, whether it be my height or my career or finances, anything that could potentially be triggered by my feeling of inadequacy. I cut that off because I understood what my values were, and were able to confront that and start to develop a more healthy set of values for myself that would allow me to embrace all the things that could potentially be a source of inadequacy in my life. It's all about self-awareness and being able to understand and identify and be aware of the things that happen in the shadows that affect and drive who we are and how we live in the light. Because something is unseen, it doesn't mean it doesn't affect you on a daily basis. So if you are willing and have the courage to delve into the shadows of your consciousness and the undercurrent of your awareness, and look deep and understand what is behind the surface level of fear, frustration, doubt, etc. that you are dealing with, then you can conquer fear, claim confidence, find your voice, and live life on purpose with purpose. And I will see you on the next episode of The Fearless Factory. Thank you for watching. And if you have heard anything today that has inspired you to think and act fearlessly in your life, then click here to subscribe and stay up to date on future episodes, here to watch the previous episode, and don't forget to check out the blog at myyearoffear.com. And I will see you on the next episode of The Fearless Factory.